it's black and white. One thinks one way, the other one. Bruce, what do you think? Oh my God.
Putting you in the middle.
Yeah. That's like, all right, which parent do I agree with? And what's the repercussions? Well, I see it both ways, guys. You know what I mean? It was just brutal.
Sit on the fence. Yeah.
Don't do that to me. That it's a no-win situation.
Two massive egos, high stakes, and a man caught in the middle. Former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick found himself navigating the creative tug-of-war between Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. And in this clip from my interview with Bruce, and the full hour-long interview can be heard on the VRP Rocks podcast, available on any good podcast app, by the way, Bruce shares the intense pressure of writing songs for the band, the impossible dilemma of choosing who to present the ideas to first, and how this little decision could make or break a track. You're watching VRP Rocks. I'm Paul Stevenson, and this is Bruce Kulick. I've heard you say in the past that during your time with the band, it was a wonderful challenge writing music. Can you elaborate on that? Was it difficult? Was it fun? Was it challenging? How did you deal with Gene and Paul when you were coming up with music?
Yeah, I mean, always a bit of a strategy game in my mind, as to, well, you realize it's not only that you're going to generate money, maybe for forever, on a Kiss album, of course. I didn't co-write Forever. I wish I did. That was Michael Bolton there, the little connection there. But you know what I mean? You write a song, it's yours, and then you can then hand it down to your heirs, okay? But for me, it was also just that excitement of having my name as a co-writer with these iconic rock stars who wrote so many hits. So the pressure was on. And I'll never forget an Asylum, going to Paul's apartment one time, or maybe both of the times that we worked on things. Desmond Child was there, who already wrote Heaven's on Fire and was involved in, that was a little right before the big Bon Jovi hit, Living on a Prayer.
Yeah.
But I knew that, I'm sitting with a heavy hitter writer here. And yeah, I could see myself at Paul's place, just, being like, this is surreal. I just have to be intuitive, be natural, contribute, stay in my lane. But there was no way that I would ever act like I know more than those guys. And it was great because I wound up with 4 co-writes on the Asylum record. So I'm so happy that they were willing to bring me in to contribute. Paul had a way that he likes to work, and if he's likes an idea, if he can make other parts his own or make that his own, he's in full tilt. If you present him too much, he might not like it because it doesn't feel like his.
Yeah.
And I respect that. Gene, I could present everything, maybe a title and all the music, meaning all the chords, not necessarily all the melody and the lyrics, and he'll jump right in. Hell or High Water is a perfect example. Gave him the title, had all the chords, and he was able to write the song, and Gene was more liberal about that. Now here's another rub. This one's the crazy one. So if I played it for Gene and nothing happened with it, don't play it for Paul. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? Somehow he'll know,
yeah,
and he's not going to want to do it. Okay. So now how do you take these creations, your little babies, your little precious, moments of musical ideas, and decide which one goes to which one, with the fate being not being included on a record, And there were times good stuff got left behind. I'll never forget in Revenge, something that just didn't click, didn't happen. And I remember playing it. I worked on it with my brother for one of his whatever band he was in then. I don't remember if it was Blackthorn or something else. And I remember I was playing it in the car, and Bob Ezrin came out of the studio, and he heard it. He said, like, "What's that?" I said, "Oh, it was a riff. I showed it to Paul or something, It was way too late. We were already, we had our songs, but that happens." Or Desmond, Paul, and I write this terrific song called Sword and Stone, and Ron Nevison, the producer, who was given the power to choose the songs, didn't hear it. So then the song gets covered by Paul Dean from Loverboy, Bonfire over in, Germany or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, and it's a Desmond Child, Paul Stanley co-write, you know what I mean? But Kiss never did it, mind-boggling. But that happens, what are you going to do? I'm still grateful for the co-writes I have. And, every band has those different dynamics.
Yeah,
okay. It was much more natural with the band Union with John Corabi and I. You got to remember, Gene and Paul compete, so then I have an equal access because I'm in the band and I'm their guitar player, and I got to follow their instructions when I perform on it. And I'm given this blessed opportunity to contribute, but then how do I split it up to who? Another one to deal with these with being in a band with that dynamic. They have a disagreement about something. Right? One's black, it's black and white. One thinks one way, the other one. Bruce, what do you think? Oh my God.
Putting you in the middle.
Yeah. That's like, all right, which parent do I agree with? And what's the repercussions? Well, I see it both ways, guys. You know what I mean? It was just brutal.
Sit on the fence.
Don't do that to me. That it's a no-win situation. Sometimes that's a way to just maybe I'll say one thing to soften the other person, even though I didn't commit. Do you know what I mean? It's a negotiation between the two of them. Unbelievable. But those dynamics are in bands, and I wish I was a fly on the wall for with Queen or Aerosmith when they're going through the stuff, when you got all these creative people. But generally, every band has two dominant people, and probably the best known group that we know a lot of the ups and downs were the Beatles, because then you had George Harrison, who didn't get a lot of shots at the songwriting towards the end of their years together as a band, proving what he could write with a song like Something and While My Guitar Gently Weeps and stuff like that, and brings in Eric Clapton to do it. So it showed his genius. And but we know there's always drama.
There is always drama.